guys, it's Renee, and today we are talking all things my natural hair regimen. I know after seeing my natural hair journey, a lot of people have been asking me what I do in specific circumstances, so I'm going to share all my secrets today. It's not really a secret just because a lot of the stuff I have learned online, but if you ever want to know how I grew my hair, and I say grew because this whole regimen and this whole process isn't really about hair growth for me. I mostly just try to focus on hair health, and hair health ultimately gives you hair length. So if you ever wanted to know how I got from this to this, keep watching. I thought I should give you guys a little bit of a hair background before I get into it. So let's start with the stats on my hair. How long have I been natural? I don't really know when I should actually mark this from, just because I've been through a process, and if you guys have seen my natural hair journey, you would already have known that. But the last time I've ever put any sort of chemical in my hair was in January of 2015. So January of 2022 will be 7 years since my last process. The next thing is when I got my first big chop, which was July of 2017. So I made 4 years of being natural. I did do a second big chop in May of 2020. So this is me 1 year and a bit of that big chop. Next thing is hair texture. I just thought we should cover it early just so we get it over with. I don't really know what my hair texture is. If anyone out there can tell me, look back at all the times that I showed my hair wet and in different states, and you could let me know. But I'm gonna assume it's somewhere in the type 4 section. That's what I consider myself. I would say 4A, B, maybe C. Maybe there's a little bit of 3C in there. I'm not too sure, but I would just say I'm a type 4 natural. I think this is a little bit more important, not the most, but a little bit more in its hair density. I would say I have normal to high density hair, just because over the years I've always heard you have a big head, you have a lot of hair, and so forth. Even when I was texturized, people always say, oh, your hair is very thick and all that kind of stuff. So I think I have just a lot of hair on my head, so I would say normal to high density hair. The next thing, which is I think the most important thing in this whole thing, which is hair porosity. I have low porosity hair. I could tell that because I go in the shower and I'm trying to wet my hair. Like if it was in a really dry state for a while, I would go in, I would try putting the water on it, and I would go through the process, and it just takes a very long time for the water to actually seep into my hair. So just from that experience, as well as if I am spraying my hair with any sort of water, putting any sort of product on it, a lot of stuff just sit on top of the hair. That shows me definitely low porosity hair, which I think a lot of naturals have as well. So it makes it a little bit easier if I'm looking online for something, just because I could find it pretty easily. But like I said, this porosity is most important, just because this kind of helps determine like the method of how you apply your products, what type of products you should use, and so forth. But we'll get into all of that. And last but not least, hair length. I don't really think hair length is that serious, but in case anybody wanted to know, this is my hair in a braid out, chunky braid out. I took it out a couple seconds ago, to be honest, but I will show you one piece, I guess, and maybe some pictures. But here is the piece, and then in the back, it's just a little bit under my bra. So yeah, that is my hair length. For me, I do a very long wash day, about once a month. I will refresh my hair more often than that, depending on what state it's in. So let's say it's in a wash and go or a braid out and it just needs some sort of moisture, I would do that more often. But full wash day, I will do that once a month. My first step, and I've been doing this for years, is always a hot oil treatment, which I do as a pre-poo. So I like to use a bunch of different oils. My base is typically olive oil or grapeseed oil, and then I put tea tree, peppermint, manuka, jojoba, basically any oil I could find, any oil I come across. Sometimes I even add different types of wild growth oils, some like hair food, whatever I could really find. I'll put in my little treatment, put it in a little applicator bottle, boil it on the stove, and then add it to my hair. If it's in a very dry state, I'll put the oil in, put some water and then kind of massage it into the hair itself, and then twist up that section and move on to the next section until I'm done. Once I'm done my hot oil treatment, I'd go on to what my next step is. But recently I've been adding another pre-poo, which is the African Brides pre-poo. I really like that one because it does have aloe in it and coconut water. I have also used an aloe plant. I'll say this about the plant, it does work pretty well. I like it, it's fine. The only thing is I just don't know how to get the product out efficiently. I'm finding that when I do use it, it's chunks of product all over my hair. So if I could find a way to make it a little bit more smoother, I'd probably use the plant more often. But since I don't really know how to, I'll just use the product because it works well. But always I do a pre-poo first. The next thing in my steps is a clay mask, guys. I love the Aztec bentonite clay mask. I add activated charcoal to mine. I also add apple cider vinegar. I do a couple scoops and make it into kind of a puddingy, is that a word? I don't even know. I make mine into kind of like pudding. I put some apple cider vinegar and I add a little bit of water depending on how thick it is. And if it is a little bit too thin, I'll add some more scoops of the actual clay. But I use that and I use it every single time right after the hot oil. I don't wash out the oil because this is a really great way to really draw out the impurities in your hair. I noticed that using the bentonite clay mask also helps to define my curls. It's really nice to do for me because I find that my hair wet, or my hair curly I should say, before adding gels or any product, it doesn't really look curly, it just kind of looks kind of poofy. So me doing this process really helps me to kind of get the curls from the step before. That way doing a gel or going forward to like a wash and go, it's not as hard for me. Once I have the clay mask on my hair, I wait about 30 minutes or until it kind of gets a little bit dry, so it's kind of chalky and your hair is kind of stiff, and then I'll rinse it all out completely. Before, I wasn't actually doing a shampoo on top of this. I was just doing that because the clay mask has the benefit of being like a shampoo and it gives your hair like that reset that you need. But now I've noticed that it takes a long time to actually get out of your hair, and it's slightly annoying to have it just sitting on top of your hair and you're doing other stuff and you're still seeing clay come out. So I've actually started using a shampoo. I don't really have a favorite shampoo. I just kind of use whatever I have around, like water-based products. So any type of shampoo that's kind of a water, hibiscus water, coconut water, stuff like that are stuff that I really like for my hair. So I use a shampoo mostly just to rinse out that clay mask, but I always do it in sections. I find that if I do the shampoo on my whole head without kind of putting my hair in sections, my hair gets very tangly and it would defeat the whole purpose of me even pre-pooing as well, because pre-pooing also does the detangling for you, right? So I put my hair into sections and I'll shampoo section by section and kind of try to keep my hair out of its own way. But once the shampoo is done, I actually skip the conditioner. I don't know if some of you still do shampoo conditioner like our moms used to do, but I actually go straight into the deep conditioner because the deep conditioner for me is that product. It just gives me the softness, it gives me the hair reboot. It just makes my hair feel amazing. So if I do anything, at the very least I'll wanna deep condition my hair. I do have a favorite deep conditioner. The Hair Mayonnaise by ORS gives me the juice. When my hair feels so dry or just needs a little reset, I will just deep condition it and leave it on for a little bit. Back in the day, I used to actually deep condition overnight. I thought that was the best way to get best results. I almost always did it that way, but I know now that you don't really need to deep condition overnight. A lot of the products say 10 minutes up to 30 minutes, and that's most likely fine. You're kind of defeating the purpose by doing it overnight. You really don't have to. So I've actually started just doing, I'll say an hour, mostly just because I'm lazy and I don't have time to always just take out the deep condition. I just want to relax. Like, the wash day takes long enough, guys. I don't really want to go back and take out my hair and have to style it like 10 minutes later. Like, we're not doing that. But anyway, I usually put a plastic bag or plastic cap over my head, and then I put on a steam mask as well. So it's like a little plasticky thing you put on top, and then you turn it on and it kind of like steams to give you that heat to help the deep condition really penetrate into your hair. I really like using that because I find that with my low porosity hair, I need something to actually get into the hair and really make me feel like I'm doing a process. Otherwise, it kind of just sits on top, like I said, and doesn't really do anything. Also, I find that having a good deep conditioner conditioner that actually works for you helps. And I feel like if my hair isn't soft after I deep condition it, then did I even do anything? You've washed your hair and everything, go through that whole process, and you come out and your hair feels the same as it did before even starting, and then I know that my process didn't really help. So I love to add a good deep conditioner. So that's pretty much it for my actual wash day portion of the routine. And then I will do a different type of aftercare based on what kind of style I'm going for. Most of the time, especially throughout being at home all the time or just not doing as much as I used to back in the day, I would just probably put a leave-in conditioner, and I love to add that in the shower just so I could add water and have the product actually seep into my hair. And then I would come out and I would add some sort of curl cream. So that's the L leave-in or liquid and C cream, and then I add an oil on top. A lot of times if I'm doing a braid out or a twist out later, when I take out the braids or the twist, I'll also use oil on my fingers to take it down just to help it stay as neat as possible. I mean, frizz is cool, but not too much frizz. I want the shape to be there for y'all to see the definition of a braid out or twist. In case it wasn't clear, the LCO method, liquid or leave-in, cream, oil is the best for me just because with the low porosity hair, I need the moisture and then I seal it in with that oil at the end. That's monthly. I'll kind of refresh my hair depending on how dry it looks or kind of what I did or maybe what season it is. I noticed in the summertime I would have to do a lot more to refresh my hair just because it's so humid outside and my hair just looks dry and feels dry so quickly. So I'll do either water and conditioner on my fingertips depending on what style I have in. So braids, I'll just like put it in and then kind of go about the day, and then I'll add oil to my edges to make sure that they're growing in because the no edges life is real. So I gotta add that oil to make sure that it's good. But other than that, if I'm doing a wash and go, I'll usually add the gel as the last step. I like my Wetline Extreme gel. I've talked about it a bit and I've actually used it on the channel, and it's probably the only gel I will ever use just because one, they have a big tub, and with someone with a lot of hair, a big head, I can't be doing gels or stuff that don't have a lot of product in it because it's gonna be done in 3 seconds, and what's the point of that? So Wetline Extreme is my go-to. I'll add the gel in, and then depending on how the week goes, if my hair is a little bit more dry, I'll add some water and then some more gel just to make sure the curls are reactivated, or I'll just kind of style it in a different way. So I've had wash and goes where I've had it last for up to 2 weeks, but around the end of the time that I have it, I'll put my hair in a ponytail or in a high puff or something like that, just so the hair is not really in the way. But if it looks like extremely dry and it's just kind of the end of its time, then I'll just re-moisturize it with the water, with the leave-in, and then add gel on top. Something I also like to do, especially if I'm trying to go between different hairstyles, is every 2 weeks or so I'll do a quick wash, I like to call it. I go in and do a little shampoo or a co-wash depending on the mood. Sometimes my hair feels like it really needs the shampoo to like get all the dirt out, or I used a lot of gel that week or something like that. Sometimes it's not really about the actual hair dirt but more about the hair moisture, so I'll just do the co-wash. And always a deep conditioner, guys. Deep conditioner is the best thing you can do for your hair. Deep condition your hair, because that's the one thing that actually helps to bring the moisture in. It actually helps to make your hair feel soft and manageable. I can't live without my deep conditioner, so anytime I have a refresh or a full wash day, deep condition. It doesn't necessarily have to be a product that says deep conditioner on it just for it to be a good deep conditioner. You could even do a regular conditioner, have it on top of your hair. If you're just in the shower, leave it on. Do it at the beginning of the shower, leave it on your hair, kind of pin it up, have it on while you're in the shower. Even 10 minutes, guys, helps. Like, it just brings that moisture back into your hair, and it really like gives your hair that little refresh that it needs. So I'd say if you're gonna do anything, if you're gonna take anything from this routine, don't forget the deep conditioner. Some of the things that I've noticed that I've been doing is I would always wash my hair more often in the summer, just because in the summertime, like I said, it's very hot, it's very humid, my hair feels a lot more dry, so I just need that refresh a little bit more often. But in the fall, winter time is a little bit cooler, my hair is doing a little bit less on its own, I don't really style my hair as often, and I also almost always have a lot of protective styles in, so I just don't have my hair out on the elements, so I just don't have to wash my hair as often. I heard some people mention that dirt helps their hair grow, and not that I'm trying to say that I'm a dirty person or anything like that, but low-key me doing a little bit less to my hair and just kind of keeping this consistent monthly routine kind of helped me, just because my hair is not touching other stuff, it's not rubbing against my shirt because it's mostly in braids or twists or a protective style. And then when I do wash it, I'm bringing all the moisture into it. I'm putting the oil, I'm putting all the products for my hair to last long, so it's still moisturized throughout that time. Then I take it out, I have whatever braid out, twist out, and then I get to do that all over again, and my hair just stays pretty healthy and moisturized. So I just find that this routine works for me because, one, it's a little bit easy. You don't gotta do your hair every week, you don't gotta be bothered with it. You braid it up, have it in for a while, take it out, have that out for a while, and then we start over. Some tools that I really like on my hair is a wide tooth comb. I have two actually, one that's just like a big wide tooth comb, and I'll just use that to comb out my hair, or the one that has a rat tail comb as well, and I like that as well. So I just go back and forth between either or. Sometimes I do use that detangling brush. It works okay, but I find that it kind of snags with the bristles. I have to make sure my hair is pretty detangled before using it, otherwise I feel like I'm ripping out my hair a bit. But if it's already kind of detangled, then it works pretty well for me. And then I use a brush if I am putting my hair in a bun or something like that, and I use a small edge comb or brush on my edges if I'm trying to soup them up. I mostly like to do a finger detangle first before doing anything, and then use whatever tool next, just so my hair doesn't get caught into the tools and get single strand knots or knots in general, and that's a whole mess in itself. Don't mind my appearance, I know I look crazy. I just wanted to pop in because I realized I forgot something that I think is pretty important for this whole regimen, and it's how much heat I use on my hair. I mentioned this quite a bit, but I did have to cut my hair in May of 2020. Two things that I know I did for sure around the time where my hair got damaged was blow dry my hair and use a protein treatment. So for the protein treatment, I didn't mention that at all. I stay clear of that now since I don't really know exactly what happened with my hair. But for the heat and blow drying, I try to not do it as often anymore. I never really had a set schedule of when I was doing it. I do still do it sometimes if I'm getting a protective style, but if I know in advance that I'm gonna get a protective style, I try to put some braids in my hair to help it stretch out and be detangled. That way, if I go to somebody who likes the hair stretched when they're doing it, they'll just comb out the braided hair, and then it will be pretty much the same thing as blow drying it. And in terms of straightening or flat ironing my hair, I don't actually do that at all, to be honest. The last time I straightened my full head was October of 2016, and the last time I straightened just a front for leave out for a weave was February of 2018. So it's been quite a bit. Not to say that I'm never gonna straighten my hair, blow dry my hair, or anything like that. I just don't do it as often anymore, and I think that's really helped with the overall health of my hair. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'd love to hear stuff that you do that help you make your days a little bit faster, because mine's pretty long, I'll be honest. So if I could have anything to make it a little bit easier, a little bit faster, I'd love that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye y'all!